One, you, one, good. Before we,
तुम विनती सुनो सबकी, कल्याण करो जग का, सहारा का करके उद्धार करो दुर्गा, उद्धार करो दुर्गा। तुम विनती सुनो सबकी, कल्याण करो जग का, सहारा का करके उद्धार करो दुर्गा, उद्धार करो दुर्गा। दर्शन हो माँ तेरे, सबकी अभिलाषा है, मन में रहो तुम सबकी, तुमसे आशा है। दर्शन हो माँ तेरे, सबकी अभिलाषा है, मन मेरा तुम सबकी, तुमसे आशा है। क्या मेरा क्या उसका, ये अपना पराया क्या, सब ज्योति जला करके रोशन करो जग सारा, रोशन करो जग सारा। तुम विनती सुनो सबकी,
So, Prem Swallow Adi Shakti Mata Ki Jai. Siddharam, everybody. Let's all stand as we begin this evening with opening arati and mantras. Actually, we have arati. You have the Devi arati? No. Yeah, you have Jayam Gauri? Sing it there for me. Sajam cha varti sanyuktam Iran. Put a little effects on this one. Grahina yojitam mayam Deepam grihana devesham Trailokya timirapaham. No, go ahead. I'll listen first.
Jai Ambe Gauri.
Together, everybody, let's sing.
Maya Jai Shama Gauri. तुमको निस दिन ज्ञावत, तुमको निस दिन ज्ञावत, बड़ी ब्रह्मा शिवरी। ओम जय अम्बे गौरी। ओम जय अम्बे गौरी। मैया जय श्यामा गौरी। तुमको निस दिन ध्यावत, तुमको निस दिन ध्यावत, हरि ब्रह्मा शिवरी। ओम जय अम्बे गौरी। मांग सिंदूर विराज, तीको मृग मग को, मैया उज्ज्वल से को नैना, उज्ज्वल से को नैना, चंद्र बदननी को। ओम जय अम्बे गौरी। तनक समानक लेबर, रगताम विराजे। ओ मैया रक्त पुष्प गलमाला, रक्त पुष्प गलमाला, कंतन पर साजे। ओम जय अम्बे गौरी। के हरि वाहन राजत, हर छत पर दारी। ओ मैया सुर नर मुनि जन सेवक, सुर नर मुनि जन सेवक, तिनके दुख हारी। ओम जय अम्बे गौरी। कानन कुंडल शोभित, नासाग्रह मोती। ओ मैया चंद्र दिवाकर, कोटिक चंद्र दिवाकर, समराजत ज्योति। ओम जय अम्बे गौरी। शुंभ निशुंभ दिदारी, महिषासुर घाती। ओ मैया महिषासुर
गाती
धूम्र विलोचन नैना
धूम्र विलोचन नैना
निस दिन मधमाती ओम जय अम्बे गौरी चंद मुंद संहारे शोरित बीज हरे ओ मैया शोरित बीज हरे मधु कहे तब दो मारे मधु कहे तब दो मारे सुर भयहीन हरे ओम जय अम्बे
गौरी
ब्रह्मानी रुद्रानी तुम कमला रानी ओ मैया तुम
कमला रानी
अगम निगम भगानी अगम निगम
भकाली
तुम शिवपत रानी ओम जय अम्बे गौरी चौसठ योगिनी गावत मृत्यु करत बैरो मैया मित्र करत बैरो बाजत ताल निरंगा बाजत ताल और बाजत डमरू ओम जय अम्बे तुमको जग की माता तुम ही हो बरता ओ मैया
तुम ही हो भरता
भक्तन की दुख हरता
भक्तन की दुख हरता
सुख संपत्ति करता ओम जय अम्बे ओम जय अम्बे गौरी मैया जय श्यामा गौरी
तुमको
निज दिन ध्यावत
तुमको
निज दिन ध्यावत हरि ब्रह्मा शिव जी
ओम जय अम्बे गौरी
जय अम्बे गौरी जय अम्बे गौरी. Together, let's pray, everybody. Om Gajananam Bhutaganaadisevitam Kapeta Jambo Palacha Umasutam Sho Shakarakam Namami Vighaneshwara Sarvamangalamangaliye Shive Sharanye Narayani Gurur Brahma Gurur Devo Gurur Sakshat Tasmai Shri Om Shivaya. Om
Namah Shivaya.
Om Namah Shivaya.
Om Namah Shivaya.
Prem Samalo Mahapati Mahadeva Ki Jai. Again, Sitaram, everybody. So last night, where we stopped off, Devi had destroyed this personality called Mahisasur, and it is the pitya sometimes we see where she's stabbing somebody with the trishul. In some pityas you see the lion is holding on to the person and he looks as if he has bull horns. That had happened. But sometimes when you're singing the arati and you hear Mahisasur, the Mardani, Shumbani, Shumbadari, we think that those things happen together. And this navratri discourse, there are different ones. This one shows how much time passed between the killing of this form and that form of bad. Before we continue tonight, let's do our Samiran. Everybody, please put your hands together. And this is the part where we are asking permission to listen to Mother's discourse. May this discourse, by Shravanam, the practice of listening to prayer, for those of you online with us, there are different ways we practice devotion. We all know about puja. There is the type where when we stand for arati, I want to see the murti, darshanam, where I look at prayer. When arati is going on, for example. Shravanam is another form of bhakti where I just have to listen to the prayer, listen to the chanting or the mantras or the puja, and I'll get the blessing as if I have done the prayer. For this reason, you are asking the goddess tonight, as I'm about to listen to the discourse, allow the blessings to come in such a way it must remove the unclean, if there's anything unrighteous around me or in my home, in my life. If there is any type of disturbance causing friction, argument, troubles, discord, difficult times, Mother, by just listening to your discourse, let peace and happiness, health, prosperity reign in my home. Let's pray together as we get ready to do our Devi. Gauri Shambhu Gira Guru Govinda Ganapati Gang Sumire Vyasa Bhasha Karta Devi Prasang. Vic, just check my mic and check that effects, please. Yes. Jasudeha mati mati vishaya stitita jo jagamat matina lekat jahi rupako mati prirak jnan sakala nigama ut samani Rile ka jagman Matu bhavani ke charana Namo namah sukakan Shri Shankacharya Aru Mata Pita Shiranaya Devi Bhagvat Grantha Ke Bhasha Likat Bhanaya. Everybody. Ya Devi Sarva Bhuteshu Shakti Rupena Samsita. Ya Devi Sarvabhuteshu Matri Rupena Samsita.
Namastasyai, namastasyai,
Namastasyai.
namo namah.
Ya Devi Sarvabhuteshu Shanti Rupena Samsita. Namastasyai.
Namastasyai, namastasyai, namo namah.
Namastasyai Namo Namah. Shri Adi Shakti Mata Ki Jai. In tonight's discourse, we get to hear a couple of things different. We enter into chapter 21 of book 5 of Devi Bhagavad, where the person listening to Devi Bhagavad again is the great-grandson of Arjun, who is on the Gita book. His grandson, Parikshit, listened to what we call Bhagavad Puran. When Parikshit dies, he dies by a snake bite, and his son became infuriated. He went off, couldn't take the death, couldn't believe that his father, after doing all of these good things, had to die in this way. So he vents, and he, with this anger, started a hunt for snake anywhere he could find snake. And me and you, as I said last night, offer ghee and other things in the fire. He was offering whole living snakes. That was his prey. When now he interacts with the Guru tells him the purpose of a son and a daughter. In Indian movies, we have beta, beti. But in text, they use the word putra, putri. Putra and putri, son, daughter, means the soul that is encased in this body called son or daughter, by their choices and their actions and their deed, uplift the mother, uplift the father. That out of all creation, just by doing things in the correct way, these two people, without offering prayers, puja, by the quality of their life and how they choose to make decisions, have the ability. Put is a section where people go to get punishment when they ill-treat children, starve, you treat children bad, rape, molest. That is where they go to get punishment non-stop. But now, these children are made in such a way, when they do charity, let's say, just for example, the girl, fast forward in her story, she gets married, goes into the husband's family, and she encourages charity. She encourages, hello, Diwali coming, we have to do prayer in this home, etc. We have to feed people, we have to do what? I don't care what your experiences are, this is the right thing. And she encourages with force, sometimes, the correct thing. One day, somebody will say, who is your father? Who is your mother? They really train you good. And in this way, when the girl does good, she allows father and mother's soul to go up. When all of when all of the conversation between Jan Vijay and the Guru was finishing, the Guru says to him, if this is your position as a son, to uplift your father, by doing all this amount of murder, you're pulling down your father's soul. You need to stop this. Change the course. Where you're going to cause not only trouble for yourself, but you're burning your father. You love your father, you're doing all this because your father, but you're causing trouble for your father. So Jan Vijay asked Guruji, could you please guide me how to overcome this sin? He says, if you sit down and you listen to Devi Bhagavad. Devi Bhagavad is called Devi Bhagavad. Bhagavad means the body. That word refers to the body of the goddess. So when the person is toting the book on the head, if they have the physical book, today I have a computer here. if the person is toting the book on the head, it is believed equivalent. Let me say we lift the murti and I rest it on my head and I brought mother into the Yagyashala. He sat down and he listened to all the discourses that are surrounding Devi's prayer. There are some discourses in Devi Bhagavad where you will hear when Lord Krishna went and he get lost at one point, and his father in the Mahatyam, Vasudeva, couldn't see Krishna coming home. He's worried. What did he do? He put the kalsa and he put the coconut and he worshipped that kalsa and coconut. Before man could make these murtis, before we made the plastic murti, that is our murti. It represents the goddess. And he did that vrat for the whole Navaha, or the 9 days. The correct way when you're doing Devi Yag is the 9-day session. When you hear people have 3 days and 5 days, those things in our text does not exist. That is satsang, more or less. We have Saptaha, which is 7 days, and Navaha, which is 9 days yagna. This fella sits down and he's listening to all the goddess katha. So where we reach now, he says, last night you mentioned how it had 2 people, 2 brothers that were very sinful, and they had gained a lot of blessings because they knew how to work praise. This weren't the people to pull a shortcut. Although our thinking sometimes, bad people just do bad things, good people just do good things. Please remember, in every discourse that we have, the bad people become powerful because they know the value of fasting, doing the job, doing the havan, etc. So till today, for example, some of the prayers we say Tandav Stotra, for example, for Lord Shiva, is Ravan who wrote that. When they lifted Kailash Parvat, it was Ravan who did that, not Sri Ram. There are many instances where people who use the blessings they get from prayer for bad, when they were praying, they did it correct. And these 2 fellas are in the same way. Their persona, they sit fasting, separate themselves from consort and all these things, forget about kingdom and all of that. And for the little time they had prayers going on, they focused on their prayer. When they get the audience with Brahma, they start to talk the usual story. They want to be immortal. They want to be everlasting. And let's hear what happens in this first slok tonight. Shiva Om Shakti Om Hari Om Narayanaya Krishnaya Narayanaya Krishnaya Paramatmaya Namo Namah Narayanaya Krishnaya Paramatmaya Namo Namah Tasya Karana Rajendra Vasava Sadaye Deha Dvij Sthira Shatraparye Jate Yadha Bhumi Tejaleshwara Narayanaya Narayanaya Krishnaya Shum and Nishum tell Brahma they want to be immortal. Brahma says no. What is born has to die. Change it. He says, do not allow us to die by any human, Devta, or any Danav that is male. He says, Brahma, you have made the female so weak, so helpless. Who of all the females could interfere with us? Brahma smiles and he says, if that is what you want, you take that. That you will die at the hands of a female? He says, yes. Vyas Muni tells Janmejai, this is an example for people who pray but take their words very lightly, their own self. When you're angry, you say one thing. When you calm down, you say different. But what you have to remember is somebody's listening to you when you do that. Shumbani Shumbadhadave Rajan Shumba Sevari Singhasan Samprapta Dhanave Rajan Rajana Prapya Mahavira Narayanaya When he gets the power and the blessing from Brahma, they start to amass forces. They go to tributaries and little fledgling villages and take over one village at a time. Everybody pledges their allegiance. They're afraid of him because of they've heard of how much blessings this person Shum, the bigger brother, has. His younger brother Nishum. They don't want to fight him. They know they cannot win him. So every time he would enter a small kingdom, a small village, they pay obeisances, they give all their money, they pay taxes, everything to him. Then they came across great warriors who had great blessings. Chanda, Munda, Dumralochan, Rekta Beach. These people want to start to join the winning side, and they come with their forces. Anya babu bhara shoyatam rakta vijena shumbate nripati manava vaibhasya meva kahatam yena narayanaya Narayanaya Vishnaya Paramatmaya Namah. When they start to get all the forces, now they start to get puffed up with pride. And the two brothers, after conquering the earth, they start to go for the heavenly region. Shum says he wants to fight Indra. Nishum says he wants to go after all the different east, west, north, south, the directions, the Lokpal. They want to go and thief the celestial Gaumata, the Parijat tree, the different things that came out of the water when they were churning the ocean around the Diwali Katha. Now they want to have that. There is nothing. They have an insatiable desire. Not gold, not property now. They want more. They want all the blessings too. They want to be the main deity in all the yagya, so that when people offer into the fire, it mustn't go for the devatas, but it must come for their benefit. Trailokya yagya palyeta pradhanyena tanandascha Vanam parigrata muditatam Vishwadevyati Sangshaya Narayanaya Krishnaya Paramatma Namo Namah Narayanaya Krishnaya Paramatma Namo Namah Paramatma Namo Namah Paramatma Namo Namah. Shri Adi Shakti Mata Ki Jai. These two let loose a scourge that killed anybody that opposed them. This army became so populated that when it ran across heaven, it took all the different Devlok, Vaikunt, everybody was subjugated. In this way, whilst they were ruling now, all the devatas got displaced and had to hide in caves. And because nobody could do Havan to give them energy to maintain things like the carbon cycle, the water cycle, the earth now becomes very arid and dry. Indra goes and he's crying to Guruji. He says, look how marvelous this thing called time is. One moment you're a king, and as time passes, you become a beggar. Whether what in this lifetime teaches lessons, Guruji, how amazing this time is. Who has time? Who could control time, Guruji? Thank you, babe. What is this thing called time that when you think you are permanently happy, something will come wrong to steal that peace of mind or happiness? I did so many yagya, different type of sacrifice to attain the position of Indra. I was the head of all the sun and moon and everybody. It seemed as if I would be permanently there. And look again, somebody has come and thrown me out. When Mahisa was there, Mahisasur, I got thrown out, I got displaced. Time passed, I became comfortable, and I got thrown out again. Guruji says that even Mahavishnu has the answer to time. From time to time, he will come upon the earth. And when his time is finished, he has to leave. He has the answer to that time. When Lord Shiva is, last night discourse, when he went Mani Dweep where mother was, he has to get the blessing of mother to do his work, which is to recycle the matter. Everything, when they call him the destroyer, what it is destroy. He recycles all the solid, the carbon atoms into different form. He is the person who allows that matter to churn. But he has to do it in a timely manner. And likewise, Brahma is answering to time. Indra says, who is this time? If they, the Holy Trinity, are working as if somebody is dictating to them, come, go, do, act now, don't act now. If somebody could dictate like that to them, the creator, the sustainer, and the destroyer, who much more for me? I am just a king. Who is in charge of time? And Guruji says, in order to understand her, you have to see her in her true forms. If you miss it, the lady who is in charge of all the energy, who allows this cosmos to work, she is invisible, step one. But she is in charge of the cycle. That cycle could be seen in Nitya, when spring and then summer, etc. It has a time. The blossoming of flowers, the reproduction of animals, everything has a cycle. And in this way, she's in charge of this. They then become her workers, just like you and I. For a period of time, we are comfortable, and then lessons have to be learned. And for this reason, you are going through difficulty. Indra says, Guruji, is there anything I could do to help myself, or is it I have to sit and endure this period of time where I'm suffering? Now this is a very ticklish point, because have you ever heard somebody say, I'm going through hardship, I'm sick, or some discord in the family? Where you go to pundit, like my karma. So it's written in the book, I have to catch my nene, I have to go through this, I have to cry today. It's my karma. When somebody says that, what it means is the power is out of my hand. I have no control over my future. If today is good, I'll be good. And if it's not, I'll have to take whatever I have. Do you, sitting here tonight, do you agree with that? Do you believe that your destiny is totally outside you and something else is controlling it? There are different forces at play. It have good forces, God. It have bad forces. It have evil people. It have people who wish you bad. Everything else somehow seems to be in control of your life. We sometimes consult Patra, numerology, different things. different forms of astrology. We go where the Devta manifests in a blessed person to get reading, different ways. People read your forehead, they read your palmistry, to read what is going to be your destiny tomorrow, next month, next year. If it was that is true, that we do not have control over your destiny, then why do you take the time to pray? Why make the offering? If it's really written in the book, I'm going to get in an accident, XYZ, then why do we bother to offer flowers, fruits, do RT? Why all of this? This don't make sense now. Because no matter what I do, karma done right. If I had to get in the accident, for example, that coming. Indra became like this, very confused. He says if she's in charge of time, what she's doing is already written. It's fixed. If I am born today, there'll be a day where I die. There's no way to change that. Guruji says, time is the greatest teacher. Verse 11. Time is a form that mother takes to grow her children in thinking, whether you call it common sense, whether you think about it and you think perspective, timine temper, growing patience, growing compassion, whatever it is, something teaches the person. Something is changing your perspective because I didn't do it for myself. And what will they say? As you get older, it is get wiser. Indra didn't understand this concept. So he says, Guruji, go over that part for me again. Help me understand that. Let's hear what he says to him in this verse. Ya Devi Sarva Bhuteshu Shakti Rupena Samstita Namastasye 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 Ya Devi Sarva Bhuteshu Shakti Rupena Samsita Devahim Bala Drishtiya Par Chitta Pradhanti Muniye Yatam Utpavini Deja Pravada Niragana Chatra Chakram Ye Yati Shakti Rupena Samsita Namastasye Namastasye Maya Devi Sarva Bhuteshu Shakti Rupena Samsita Upane Sarvataye Yati Ve Chakra Swadhiye Punna Punnatam Tasya Varshika Sarvanasya Par Puna Puna Yena Purate Ya. Everybody. Shakti Rupena Samstita Namastasye Namastasye Ya Devi Sarva Bhuteshu Shakti Rupena Samstita. Shri Adi Shakti Mata Ki Jai. It is a good thing to worship your Murti. It's a nice thing to offer dar and light your diya and all of that. But suppose, just suppose, the person thinks Durga is only in the Murti. Suppose the person thinks that this is the only form she has. Indra is making this mistake right now. He says, I understand the goddess. I know she had, from our previous discourse, she has 18 hands, and I understand Lord Shiva gives Shri Trishul and Lord Vishnu gives Shri Sudarshan Chakra. How now she's in charge at time? He says, think about what you are saying. As time is passing, when you are young, your perspective, your opinion, your like of certain things to eat, drink, attract a person to certain tendencies. And as you grow, those tendencies naturally change. However, for some people, when they do not want to evolve and grow, things happen in their life. Sickness, for example, comes. And the person now has to change their diet. Different things happen. You are not in control, but the lesson is learned. He says, if you, O Indra, was all pervading and you had control over your life and your destiny, why don't you control sickness? If you are so powerful, if you have so much merit, you said you've done so much yag and charity and all these things, why don't you will yourself into health? Instead, it seems as if an external force is giving infection, giving sickness, and organ failure. Different things is happening. I watched myself in the mirror this morning, I realized the hair getting more and more gray. But arguably, and you go say, this is my head. But we cannot control even the color of your own hair. You cannot control the sickness. Indra, what are you talking about? Don't you realize that you are surrounded by something that is poking and prodding and pushing you to learn certain lessons? Hence, we were talking about how God, in a previous night, how God makes blind people, deaf people, mute, specially able, gifted children. Because arguably, if somebody sees, or in your own family, these type of children are born, the question does come, where was God when this child was being made? But the Hindu says, based on karma, so your body is formed. There's an explanation in Hinduism why some have rosy belly like mine, why some people are bald head, why some people could make babies, some people can't. Everything, every flaw you could pick in your body, it have an explanation for it. Let me just give you one. How come some people get a half hair and some people are bald head? Remember this, God make everybody. Whenever a person in their previous birth, where's the answer? You'll physically light fire, maybe somebody land or something, catch fire, physical fire. Or secondly, when they are married people and you want to get in and cause friction between people so that you could get some benefit somewhere or the other, not only sexual favor, but financial, or let me just say an example, we just, talk about mother-in-law. If the mother-in-law come between two people only to mash them up, not scold, not correct, not treat, not train, not teach, but to just mash them up, that person, God does take out the soul from this body, next janam, for children to understand, and you're born in a body where the hair missing. So as a sign for you and I to understand that in your previous birth, you made some mistakes. So likewise, the person who is missing the eyes or have glaucoma or some impediment, why God make me so? Because of karma. So whenever your Baba come, watch him good. When he do anyhow an end, he just do Gayatri 3 times. Every time Gayatri is chanted, sin of 24 hours is burnt away. More you do, more you get. For example, if some people, let me say we live in a concrete jungle here, and we cannot get the physical cow to give in down, what happens? You get 5 pundits to sit around your Hawan Kun. You are not involved. You sit down like how we did one side. Put the 5 pundits and ask them to chant together 10,000. It sounds plenty, but it is done. 10,000 Gayatri. So usually what happens, each one is take 2,000. And you mash it up into how many rings. But when you're accustomed doing the job, that is not no big amount. And by the end of that, it burns away the sin, like equivalent to Gaudan. In the same way, if the person does the rituals to get the sin off your back, the body could get healed. So Indra, knowing what he was telling him, says if a person could do different type of karma, good deeds, charity, prayer, havan, like what we're talking about with the Gayatri, and that is possible, how come a person has to become a slave to time, a slave to their fate or their destiny? I don't understand. I'm getting more and more confused. Guruji says the answer is fate is there. Fate is an English word. In our language, it is called parabdha karma. Parabdha karma, fancy term, but it means from my past life, in this life now, the karma that coming with me. So I was born and I was allowed to be a brother. I was allowed to be a husband. I was allowed to be a co-worker, a friend, everything that you have. A home. For some people, they will never have a home. For some people, they live in war-torn zones. Right now, we talking and laughing, comfortable, and it have people facing the worst hurricane in Florida experience. They have to face that. Karma put good and bad in a person's life. We call that good and bad karma destiny. My future, my astrology. The correct term is parabdha karma. He says that is your fate. That is where your karma in your past life, karma in this life. Your body, the home, the money you have. I could never get somebody to marry me. That is your past karma. That is your birth chart, all those things. So when he says it is the worst thing to just accept your fate from your previous karma into this life, you're seeing trouble, you're seeing difficulty, only a weak person gives up the control of their destiny and just says, right, well, whatever happen, happen. How it go, it go. That is a weak person. A better person takes control of their destiny by remedies or remedial work. Remedial work is something called praschit karma. Praschit karma means repenting for past sins. Example, Gayatri Havan, giving charity. Tonight somebody will have to share the prasad. The person who bring the prasad, not cook it, not bless it, none of that. The person who hang it gets the blessing that whatever sin this mouth make, God forgive me, a sharing blessing tonight. Do you remember a time when people had prayers and they want, Tanti, I go help you share the roti or whatever. They had a joy because maybe people at that time understood the value, the merit that it will bring to me. What I do with these hands is only going to benefit me. He says, therefore, Indra, if you do not like what is happening in your experience or your destiny, the person who understands that you have the power to get up and remedy your life or your troubles, rather than be powerless by your own words to be successful, the person gets up and does what they could do, karmic-wise, doing goodly and godly things to win over the goddess. If the person should engage in these type of positive activity, the same lady who is in charge of destiny, who is in charge of time, she is able, she is most powerful to change the experience of a person. Have you ever checked? One of the things that I don't like to do is the child born. Pandit, when the child got dead, 86, 96, whatever it is. But consider this, based on what we say in here. If in the book it is written, I am supposed to die at just saying 50 years old. But every day, this person come and did flowers by the Murti home as a child. They did the little diya, When time to do the little jal, if it's just water, they did the little prayer. That good will follow the person. Every day when you feed your dog, when you feed your spouse, when you feed your children, those good karma also make a difference. How you take your time. Yagna, last night we said a sacrifice of time. I take my time and I take care of these children, not myself. I cook for everybody, not myself. Those things make a difference. Maybe it is a thankless job. Nobody cares what sacrifice parents make. But in the bigger scheme, you are being rewarded when Devi is recording your good and sacrificial action. Much more if a person fasts. Ekadasi coming is Sunday. The person who don't eat any grains in that type of prayer, you do him offer the rice with his offering the puja. So certain prayer like Shrad is not to be done on Ekadasi, because how you're going to offer pinda with grind rice or boiled rice, and you're not supposed to be sharing that kind of offering then. The person who does the correct prayer in the correct way with the correct mode, that person with that sattvic prayer will control their existence. So the doctor says you are going to die. Family prepare, funeral coming, and the person sit down and pray, and from dying the person extends their life. It does happen. I cannot understand maths. I cannot remember my work. Say the prayer. And the same person who couldn't get it, they get it and they are able to move forward in that side or that part of life. Shri Adi Shakti Mata Ki Jai. Indra says, okay, if it is possible to remedy my time, please guide me what to do. One example of the prayer that Indra says is something that is unique to ladies. Do you all know about Shashti Mata? Have you ever heard of that form of Devi? That in a nutshell, she is the lady who allows you to have the baby, and after the baby, she allows you to have maternal instinct. Think about what I'm saying if you're a mother here. How, when the baby got crack, you know what that means. In my life, I've gone to do prayers, child bawling and getting on crazy, and I say, like, this child hungry. And you hear a mother say, no, Baba. That cry means the child want to sleep. That cry means the child want to pick up and go for a walk. In our text, it shows that this goddess works in the female, making milk, making the body readjust, get back to normal, and to give her the knowledge of what this child needs without the person saying, I am hungry, sleepy, tired, want to bathe, etc. So from time to time, on the 6th moon, which is tonight, the Shashti Tithi, people pray. Baby born, growing up, the big now, the mothers still pray for this lady to protect their children. Further, if anybody says these prayer to Shashti Mata, the person gets overcoming hardship for food, hardship for money, hardship for health. In the home, there's some discord. This is the prayer to bring back peace. Before we move forward, everybody put your hand together and say your prayers whilst I chant this prayer for all of us together. This is from the Brahmavaivat Puran, where Priyavrat is saying his prayer to the goddess. Namo Divyai Mahadevyai Siddhaya Shantaya Namo Nama Shubhaya Deva Senaya Shashti Divyai Namo Nama Vardaya Putradaya Dhandaya Namo Nama Sukhadaya Mokshadaya Shashti Divyai Namo Nama Shristaya Shashta Swarupaya Siddhaya Cha Namo Nama Mayayai Siddhayoganyai Shashti Divyai Namo Nama Sarayai Sardhayai Cha Paradivyaya Namo Nama Bhala Drishtaya Devaya Shashti Divyai Namo Nama Kalyan Dhanaya Kalyanyai Paladhayai Cha Karmanam Prataksha Swayam Bhaktanam Shashti Divyai Namo Namah. It continues, but in this last verse it says, you are the auspicious one. You make things auspicious. You bring good results to the devotee. Blessed is the person on the Shashti Tithi, or the 6th day after the moon. Blessed is that person that chants your prayer, that whatever good result, whatever auspiciousness, whatever peace the person is looking for, bless them. They must find it. Shri Adi Shakti Mata Ki Jai. Indra went on a strong fast in the Himalayan region, doing prayers, Stotra and Ashtakam, just like this. And after a long period of prayer, Mother appeared. And when she did appear, she asked them, who is calling me? Let's hear what happens in this sloka. Tum bhari veera balvan Mahavir Bajrangi, tum bhari veera balvan Mahavir Bajrangi, मैं दारो तुम्हारो ध्यान तुम भरे वीर रामचंद्र के काज सवारो रामचंद्र के काज सवारो लंका जाय सिया सिद्ध लायो पायो अमर परदाम महावीर बजरंगी तुम भरे वीर दिव्य धरगर देवी दिव्य भूषण भूषित देवी मल्ला सम्यायुक्त दिव्य महावीर बजरंगी तुम भरे वीर बलवान महावीर बजरंगी. Mother says, who is calling on me? Who is asking me to take form? And she appeared in a beautiful form, but in this time, she came only with one trishul in her hand. Two-handed form. If you ever see Chandika Murti Apitya, this is how she looks. She says, children, who is asking me to come here? Indra comes in front and he says, Ma, we are in need of your help. No matter what we do, we are losing. No matter what we do, we are being beaten. We did not transgress on anybody. We did not attack anybody. But people sometimes keep attacking us. No matter what I do, I cannot lead. In our place, it is as if we cannot live in peace. We are constantly barraged by enmity and different attacks from different weapons. Mother, please, Ma, please help us hear our discord, hear our trouble, and remedy the problem. तुम बड़े वीर बलवान महावीर बजरंगी मैं डालो तुम्हारो ध्यान महावीर बजरंगी रामचंद्र के काज सवारो लंका जाय सिया सिद्ध लायो. Come on, let me go. A little faster. Payo amar parja mahavir bajrangi tum bhare veer balavan mahavir bajrangi bo Shambho Suravara Siddha Sthitiye Parave Vishwa Bhushana Chitaye Drishti Tam Mahavi Bajrangi Tumabare Veera Balavan Mahavi Bajrangi Main daro tumharo dhyan मैं डारो तुम्हारो ध्यान महावीर बजरंगी पवन पुत्र हनुमान की जय. She says, what trouble do you have? She says, I remain a female. I remain a mother because it is my heart and my bosom that bleeds when my children are in difficulty. If a person should come to me sincerely with devotion, whilst there may be rejection from other forms, Lord Shiva might say, I can't help you. Lord Vishnu might delay. Brahma doesn't want to help. I, Durga, I, Adi Shakti, I, Chandika, do not turn away my children. If somebody asks you, you're a Shakti person, or you believe when somebody says that, it doesn't mean only that your body shakes, but you believe in what Devi Bhagwat says, that mother is at the core. She's the energy, and Brahma, Vishnu, Shiva, everybody else is working for her, taking the energy to make the sky, make the sunrise, things that are visible, things that are invisible. An example of invisible, we were talking about the moon. The moon comes full, so the moon comes a little closer to the earth, so you see it big. But what is invisible is how that moon affects the ocean on the earth. The magnetic pull causes the same waves to raise up. Problem with that is, inside of our body, it have a lot of fluid. So when the moon come, if I hit you, you laugh one day, and then the next day I hit you, you cry. And you'll hear somebody say, but you're moving, you're moody like the moon. As the moon phase is changing, your mood is changing. But you cannot see the impact of that is there. There are many examples of it. You cannot see something that is microscopic. It doesn't mean it is not there. There are many people that say, well, I can't see God, so God doesn't exist. God doesn't exist maybe in this form, where she has a big crown on her head. But when you look at somebody controlling the natural cycle, as a Hindu, we bow to the sun, we bow to the moon, we touch the earth, we bow to the water, we worship Nitya. And that is where the true form of the goddess resides. We believe we go to the river, for example, for cleansing, for healing, to reform. Person made a mistake, a person dies, I want to go from unclean to clean. You'll get that in the river or the seawater, depending on the prayer. She says, I remain your mother. Whatever is the trouble, talk now. Tell me now. Do not grieve. I will not turn you away. He says, Ma, over 1,000 years ago, you had destroyed Mahisasur. This earth, the heavenly region, the different lok was riddled with trouble because of that persona. Now, bad has taken another form. Two brothers came from Patal, the lower lok, and they came up into the human realm. And they started to acquire power. And with the acquisition of that power, they started to create problems and disturbances. They started to get people who think like them to start to amass not only forces, but then wealth and property. And with all of this following, they became so powerful, they overthrew us. Rakta Bij, Chanda, Munda, all these people, nobody cannot beat them. Mother Rakta Bij is so difficult. If you cut him and a drop of his blood fall, an identical copy of that man is reborn. When I fought, Indra, fought Rakta Bij and the different workers of these two brothers, Shumba Nishum, I took all my thunderbolt and I tried to cut them down. And no matter how much I cut Rakta Bij, from one individual, there quickly stood an army in front of me. And I had to run, because how can I kill, how can I win somebody like that? Mother, for that reason, we have come to you. Please accept our prayer and bless us. Shri Adi Shakti Mata Ki Jai. When he said all of this, Mother started to cry. The Devi, in many examples, cries when different people go to her. It have a discourse where, if you ever hear Pandit doing Havan, and he calls on a form called Satakshi. Satakshi is when she did her hand, she became naked. And same Navrata, but Gupta Navratri discourse, she put, and everywhere on the body was a whole set of eyes. Sometimes you see murti like that. In the puja store, imagine black, like kajar, black, and only eyes open on she body. The earth was totally dry. No rain was falling. So to bring back the seawater, to restart the water cycle, she took the form, and from each eye, she started to cry. And the water started to run out of her body, pulling back the seawater. The sun evaporated the water, rain started to fall. In this time, from the body of the goddess with the Trishul, 2 hands, she makes a small form called Kaushiki Devi. This form is a part form of Parvati Mata, very loving, very protective of children. And from the eyes of this goddess, she pulls on the strand of hair on the eyelid and forms Kali Mata. She says in verse 5 of chapter 23, for those of you following, Mother, from the Ambika form, you take form as Kalratri, and you bring the night of destruction that will destroy Raktabij and others in this battle that is coming. Ambika Devi started to separate herself, and she made a little band of women. These warriors did not have weapons in their hands yet. Instead, if you see, there are forms of that same Kali, where she doesn't have on the crown, she have on a orni looking like form. In these forms, where there are less hands and she looks not as scary, that is this Nauratam, where the Shumba and Nishumba are going to destroy. How she does it? She has to coax them. So she says, let us all go into the city where Shumba is ruling, and we will then begin to deal with them one by one. Kali Mata asked the goddess, what will we do when we go there? She says, we will play with our children. Who will understand our ways will be saved, and whom is misguided will have to get punished, will have to get damaged in this battle type scenario. Vyas Muni says, for this reason, if you really look at it, many people do not understand the Devi and the goddess worship or her discourse. They have a little idea and they hold on to that, never to grow or to develop. But in all your prayer, you bow to the sun, you touch the earth, etc. But when you call the goddess or the energy that we worship, you sometimes miss it. And when they went into the city, let's hear what happened. Pahi pahi, pahi pahi gajanana, Parvati Nanda gajanana. Pahi pahi,
Pahi pahi, pahi pahi, gajanana, gajanana.
Lambodar he gajanana, Lambodar he, Lambodar gaj vicharana, Lambodar gaj vicharana, pahi 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 pahi
पाहि पाहि गजानना पार्वती नंदा गजानना
स जगदम्बिका शुम्भकराले कलिकायेनावतयाति कलरात्रि जगन्ये मोह मनोहर ये शृणुयाति द्विजयाति पाहि 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 गजानना एकदन्ता गजानना एकदन्ता अनेकदन्तं गजानना पाहि 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 दानां चन्दराजन करोति जन जन येना मण्डयाते व्यानायापि कश्चित् पुत्री पर किन्नयेन जगदात्री पाहि 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 पार्वती नंदा गजानना पार्वती नंदा गजानना श्री गणेश भगवान की जय. Mother's idea is it is time for us to sing. Let us go in the city of Shumb and Kali Mata will sing to entice all those that are listening. Sometimes people talk about the message, or I've dreamt, or I have heard, or I have seen the goddess, or I have heard the goddess sing. But if you look at your discourse, it is only this navratri where you hear the mother doing this thing called singing. Kali Mata goes, and imagine all the ladies are sitting in a circle and everybody's clapping, and Devi starts to sing about the weather, about the sun, the beautiful mausam, the beautiful rain and the sprinkling and what it does, and how great God is to control these things. In the city where she's singing, word spread fast that a beautiful singer is being carrying on, singing in the middle of the city. Kali Mata in the middle, Ambika Devi to the side, the main Devi, the main goddess, clapping and smiling. Chanda and Munda, the two generals of Shumb and Nishumb army, come quick based on what they were told. And they come and they see Ambika singing. And they run quick to Shumb. Dear king, you have the best throne. Dear king, you have the best sword. You have the best castle. You have the best this, that. And he started to list it out. He says, listen, I have those things. Why are you telling me what I already have? What it is you want? What it is you want to tell me? They say, king, listen, you went to heaven and you took the elephant from Indra. You have the parijat tree. He says, yes, yes, I did all of that. What is the point? He says, in your city, there seems to be a gem that you did not possess yet. There is a beautiful female that is singing as if a Devta is there. She has to be the greatest Gandharva or heavenly singer that I have ever seen. O king, you should possess that woman. You should have her as your consort. Vyas Muni says that when a person who is prayerful or a person who is on a path or a trajectory of greatness, The opposite sex is something that fate uses to distract the person. Think about the typical person in school. Premature relationship, premature pregnancy, all these different things, examples of the coming together, man and woman. And now instead of reaching where you could have reached, you're cut short. But it would be because of your own choice. You did it to yourself. But it is Devi who is testing the person. What will you do? If this life is about choice, this is another example of how it is done. For this reason, when the person is doing her worship, they tend to stay separate from spouse. This is a time for fasting and preparation to overcome this test. She says, Guruji says, when a person is endeavoring to reach spiritual heights, they must control themselves in every way, even in the lustful side, sexual side, etc. In this case, to capture her prey, Goddess did not use the weapons that she had used previously with Mahisasur, but she uses the weapon of beauty, the weapon of her hair, the weapon of her voice. And when they could not take it anymore, all of the men, all the people in the court came to see. When Shumb at a distance sees her, he sends the prime minister to send message, let that girl come. The prime minister goes and he says, there are two ways to win a girl that is very low, very, easy to please. Use calm words, sweet words, and give a lot of gifts. Verse 33, chapter 23 says that. You go and you bribe, and what that person did not want to agree to, she will agree. The prime minister goes with all types of gifts, but in this instance, where mother was fighting before, in this instance, she wants to meet Shumb. She says, oh my God, I'm so grateful. I am so happy to hear about this great warrior. I've heard so much about the king of this place. I would love to meet him. Please arrange a meeting, O great one, between myself and your Lord. Sugriv, the prime minister, that is just his name, he runs quick to tell the king, this is what she said, and she's waiting for you. The king now, he starts to sweat profusely. His mouth gets dry. He's anxious, full of anxiety. He starts to make preparation and he invites this personality into his place. Guruji says, in the same way, people invite death into their life every day and they do not realize, no matter how nice you dress it up, death or something that could destroy you, ridicule you, bring you down, embarrass you, is still danger, is still bad. This person became so lustful that although she was dressed beautiful, he did not see the danger. As if it was a serpent coming to bite him, he's inviting the bite. He's telling it, come closer. Mother, playing the part, went to where the court was, and she is given all forms of gifts and nice things. And Shum comes and he says that, dear Devi, I have this kingdom, next kingdom, the other kingdom, and I only have to gain a wife, a consort. If you agree to be my wife, you will inherit all of these things. You will have this, you will have that, you will have more gold than you can count. Become my wife. Let's hear what Mother says in this last slok before we conclude tonight. Jai Jai Radha Ramana Hari Bol. Jai Jai Radha Ramana Hari Bol. Jai Jai
Radha Ramana Hari Bol. Jai Jai Radha Ramana Hari Bol.
Jai Jai Radha Ramana, Jai Jai Radha Ramana, Jai Jai Radha Ramana, Jai Jai Radha Ramana. ततहं शुभमे महाबला निर्गुण्यते शैलहे वच्च वचना वचना शुभं त्वं ज्ञात्वा भली सृष्टये सुन्दरं जय जय राधा रमण हरि बोल
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 मुक्तय हे सर्वरल्यायतं स्वधये नायकं स्वरलोकायति पथिकाम्नां यहे सर्वदृष्टायकं योगनारीयहं दं ये आयति जय जय राधा रमण हरि बोल
राधा रमण हरि बोल
जय जय राधा रमण हरि बोल जय जय राधा रमण हरि बोल जय जय राधा रमण हरि बोल वृंदावन बिहारी लाल की जय. She says, but I want to accept everything you're offering. I am so happy to hear someone brave, someone handsome, someone qualified as you talk to me like that. I consider myself so joyous and so great to be elevated to your status, O King. But I have one problem. In order for me to get married, when I was a young child, I made a promise. I made a vow, a sankalp, that the person who has to marry me must beat me in a battle. The person who has to marry me must be able to show extraordinary strength and prowess. O monarch, O king, I want to marry you. And if you beat me in the fight, definitely I will marry you. But you have to battle me with your full energy. If you can't do it, let your younger brother fight me. But then I'll have to marry a younger brother. But the lust inside of him says, no. I will do what I have to do. Vyas Muni, as we pause here tonight, Vyas Muni says, when a person is living, when they are going through good times, hear the word, good times or bad times, that same Devi, in this case she takes a human form, but in your and my story, on a day-to-day basis, she's invisible. And she comes to test a person. If the person has the drishti to see mother in her different forms in your life, whether it's the dog asking for water, the child asking for help, or somebody asking for some direction, the old person crossing the road, there are different points where a person is tested. And depending on how you move, you fail or you pass to suit. In this way, dear Jan Vijay, the person who understands in this discourse her different forms, as you will hear from tomorrow, when Shum does not understand her form, and he transgresses, and he plays the part, and he gets caught up in the web where it leads him. But for the person that understands the mode under which mother works, the ability to see, or drishti, to see her, saves the person from pain, test, and downfall. This is where you take, as we were saying, you take the remedy and you fix the troubles you are facing in your destiny. If in your life you have this or that type of problem, then there's a lady only waiting for you to approach her. Ask for help. Learn how to ask. Learn the mantra. Learn the prasad. Learn the recipe. There are many things to learn. But learn it so that the day you go to ask her for help, you'll do it in the best way. Shri Adi Shakti Mata Ki Jai. Let me pause here before we conclude. Let's do, Devika, you here? Sing one song for my babe before we do Arti. Shri Adi Shakti Mata Ki Jai.
अमाचनिये भेगल माताये ओरे वारे अम्मा का तेरिये अम्मा येंगे देविया रे अम्मा ओरे वारे अम्मा का तेरिये अम्मा येंगे सत्य माताये ओरे वारे अम्मा का तेरिये लाल लाई रे लाल लाई रे आचन्य भेगल माँ ओरे वारे का तेरिये अम्मा आचन्य भेगल माँ ओरे वारे का तेरिये लाल लाई रे लाल लाई रे आचन्य भेगल माँ ओरे वारे का तेरिये अम्मा आचन्य भेगल माँ ओरे वारे का तेरिये मंजातानी अम्मा मंजातानी पुष्पंपलो अम्मा संभ्राणी वाला पे ना होंगी माँ ओ जया जया अंकाल माँ वाला पे ना होंगी माँ ओ जया जया अंकाल माँ लाल लाई रे लाल लाई रे आचन्य भेगल माँ ओरे वारे का तेरिये आचन्य भेगल माँ ओरे वारे का तेरिये देविया रे अम्मा का तेरी मीनाक्षी रे भद्रकाली उसे सवेयम कलमा ओ जया जया परमेश्वरी उसे सवेयम कलमा ओ जया जया परमेश्वरी लाल लाई रे लाल लाई रे आचन्य भेगल माँ ओरे वारे का तेरिये अम्मा आचन्य भेगल माँ ओरे वारे का तेरिये आरती उतारो फूल चढ़ाओ का तेरी अम्मा आचन्य भेगलमा ओरे वारे का तेरी.
Shri Adi Shakti Mata ki Jai. Your mom here?
तेरे लिए माँ प्यारी प्यारी चुनरिया में लाल लाई रे. तेरे लिए माँ प्यारी प्यारी चुनरिया में लाल लाई रे. लाल लाई लाल लाई लाल लाई रे. लाल लाई लाल लाई लाल लाई रे. तेरे लिए माँ प्यारी प्यारी चुनरिया में लाल लाई रे. तेरे लिए माँ प्यारी प्यारी चुनरिया में लाल लाई रे. मैया हो बावे है हाथों के चूड़िया. 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 मैया हो बावे है हाथों के चूड़िया. मैं तुझे पहनाने है चूड़िया हो लाल लाई रे. मैया तुझे पहनानी मैं चूड़िया हो लाल लाई रे. लाल लाई लाल लाई लाल लाई रे. लाल लाई लाल लाई लाल लाई रे. तेरे लिए माँ प्यारी प्यारी चुनरिया में लाल लाई रे. तेरे लिए माँ प्यारी प्यारी चुनरिया में लाल लाई रे. मैया हो बावे है माथे के बिंदिया. 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 मैया हो बावे है माथे के बिंदिया. माथे पे तेरी सजाने वो बिंदिया हो लाल लाई रे. माथे पे तेरी सजाने मैं बिंदिया हो लाल लाई रे. लाल लाई लाल लाई लाल लाई रे. लाल लाई लाल लाई लाल लाई रे. तेरे लिए माँ प्यारी प्यारी चुनरिया में लाल लाई रे. तेरे लिए माँ प्यारी प्यारी चुनरिया में लाल लाई रे. मैया हो बावे है फूलों का गजरा. 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 मैया हो बावे है फूलों का गजरा. मैया हो बावे है फूलों का गजरा. बालों में तेरे लगाने में गजरा हो लाल लाई रे. बालों में तेरे लगाने में गजरा हो लाल लाई रे. लाल लाई लाल लाई लाल लाई रे. लाल लाई लाल लाई लाल लाई रे. तेरे लिए माँ प्यारी प्यारी चुनरिया में लाल लाई रे. तेरे लिए माँ प्यारी प्यारी चुनरिया में लाल लाई रे. लाल लाई लाल लाई लाल लाई रे. लाल लाई लाल लाई लाल लाई रे. तेरे लिए माँ प्यारी प्यारी चुनरिया में लाल लाई रे. तेरे लिए माँ प्यारी प्यारी चुनरिया में लाल लाई रे. चुनरिया में लाल लाई रे. चुनरिया में लाल लाई रे.
Prem Bolo Shri Adi Shakti Mata ki Jai. Everybody, let's all stand as we do final arati, closing mantra. If, as I said, tonight is the Shashti night, If you would like to come and do arti, you're welcome to do so. Aaron, you sing. Yeah. Well, go ahead, right? Jam cha varti sanyuktam grahina yojitam mayam Deepam grihana devesham Trailokya timidapaham.
सुनो मेरी देवी पर्वतवासिनी तेरा पार न पाया तेरा पार न पाया सुनो मेरी देवी पर्वतवासिनी तेरा पार न पाया तेरा पार न पाया तेरा पार न पाया पान सुपानी ध्वजा नारियर पान सुपानी ध्वजा नारियल तेरे बीज चराया तेरे बीज चराया सुनो मेरी देवी पर्वतवासिनी तेरा पार न पाया तेरा पार न पाया ब्रह्मा वेद परे तेरे द्वारे ब्रह्मा वेद परे तेरे द्वारे शंकर ध्यान लगाया शंकर ध्यान लगाया सुनो मेरी देवी पर्वतवासिनी तेरा पार न पाया तेरा पार न पाया ऊंचे पर्वत दीन द्वाल दी ऊंचे पर्वत तिरपाल दी नीचल शेतल दाया लगाया सुनो मोरी देवी पर्वतवासिनी तेरा पार न पाया तेरा पार न पाया रूप दीप तेरे ने आरती रूप दीप तेरे ने आरती मोहन भोग लगाया मोहन भोग लगाया सुन मेरी देवी पर्वतवासिनी तेरा पार न पाया तेरा पार न पाया पान सुपानी ध्वजा नारियल पान सुपानी ध्वजा नारियल ले तेरे बीच चराया ले तेरे बीच चराया सुनो मेरी देवी पर्वतवासिनी तेरा पार न पाया तेरा पार न पाया मेरी देवी
पर्वतवासिनी तेरा पार न पाया तेरा पार न पाया
जगदम्बा देवी जय 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 जगदम्बा देवी
जगदम्बा देवी जगदम्बा देवी जय 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 जगदम्बा देवी
ओ जगदम्बा देवी जगदम्बा देवी जय 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 जगदम्बा देवी
जगदम्बा देवी जगदम्बा देवी जय 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 जगदम्बा देवी
नाचे तुम्हारा शिव ज्योति जगदम्बा देवी नाचे तुम्हारा शिव ज्योति जगदम्बा देवी 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 नाचे तुम्हारा शिव ज्योति जगदम्बा देवी नाचे तुम्हारा शिव ज्योति जगदम्बा देवी सुन मेरी देवी पर्वत वासिनी तेरा पार न पाया तेरा पार न पाया सुनो मेरी देवी पर्वत वासिनी तेरा पार न पाया तेरा पार न पाया.
Whilst our routine continues, let's all put our hands together and do final pratna. Om Tvameva Mata Chapita Tvameva Tvameva Bandhuscha Sakha Tvameva Tvameva Vidya
Ravinam Tvameva
Tvameva Sarvam
Mama Deva Deva
Tvameva Sarvam
Mama Deva Deva.
Om Shanti 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 Hari Om. प्रेम से बोलो उमापति महादेव की जय. पवन पुत्र हनुमान की जय. श्री आदि शक्ति माता की जय. वृंदावन बिहारी लाल की जय. सत्य सनातन धर्म की जय. जय जय सीताराम. सीताराम everybody. Please have all his seat as Arti, Charan Amrit, Prasad, meals are coming around. Also here at the temple they have a little fundraiser for a raffle for some murtis and things. Somebody will come around and they will tell you how that is going. Until tomorrow night we only have what? Until tomorrow night we only have 3 more nights. Tomorrow night is the Kali Mata, the Saptami discourse, then the Durga Ashtami. I believe we are doing Kanyakumari Puja on Thursday. I believe we are doing Kanyakumari Puja on Thursday, the Ashtami day. I know normally we do that on the Naumi day, but because of circumstance, we have to do it Thursday. And then on Friday night, we conclude, beside Devi, we have Gita and all the other things to close off. So everybody, please accept everything that we have to offer. Please reach home safe until tomorrow night. Sitaram, everybody.